Hello everyone, we are back again live together with Rachel Mischke and Pavel Verkhovskyi, who will present the subject Smart TV Made Simple. So without further ado, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Pascal.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Pavel. I'm engineering director here at Zattoo. I joined company 4.5 years ago, and currently I and my team, we are responsible for all web-based products. Before joining Zattoo, I worked in e-commerce, and before that, I got master's degree in aircraft engineering. I studied rocket science, and this helps me a lot to tackle complexity of the streaming apps.
Yeah, I did not study rocket science. I'm Rachel. I'm the PO for the Smart TV team, and before I joined Zattoo 1.5 years ago, I was working as a consultant for telcos, mostly always working at media video projects. Ideally with set-top boxes that were really old and very limited and had crappy browsers. So I thought like working for Zattoo and the Smart TV product owner role would be perfect fit because I know how to deal with that really complex stuff. So and that's actually what I still think. It's the Smart TV development and everything around it. It's basically something like a multi-headed monster. So no one wants to do it. Hiring is really, really complicated and difficult because everyone is afraid of that monster. And I can understand that, but I'm okay with trying to fight it at least. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Well, Rachel, I see it a bit differently. I would say it's not one monster which has 6 heads, but rather 6 individual monsters.
I don't know how that is a difference because this is easy. Like these will be attacking me at the same time. So that's the same complexity to me.
They're gonna attack you, but I think I have approach how to fight them all.
Mm-hmm.
And this approach can be used not just for Smart TV development, but pretty much for any other complex project.
So you tell me that you have a solution for basically tackling the really complex things, in our case, Smart TV, with an approach that you made up.
Yes. Let's give it a try and look at each monster individually.
Okay, I'll give you a monster. So the first monster would be the outdated technology. This is old stuff that we're working with.
Yeah, that could seem scary and complex, but let's do a simple exercise.
Okay.
Can you imagine TV?
I work with TVs. We have TVs in the background. I can, of course, imagine a TV.
And now add a browser frame on top of it.
Smart TV browser frame.
Smart TV browser frame.
Okay.
Okay. I haven't seen this one for a while. Can you think of something better than Internet Explorer?
But it was supposed to be a Smart TV browser frame, and this is what we have to deal with. Outdated technology.
That's true if you plan to support 10 years old TVs.
Sometimes we do.
Sometimes we do, but you will be surprised to learn that modern TVs come with the browsers which are very similar to your Chrome browser on the laptop.
Like this?
More like this.
Okay.
And this gives us opportunity to use modern front-end development stack like React, Redux, Webpack. It makes our app not just fast, but also makes hiring easier because there are a lot of people on the market who are familiar with these technologies and willing to work with it.
Okay, so you now took away the first monster. So you took the outdated technology, turned it into just...
I turned it in a fluffy monster.
It's a Yoshi.
It's a Yoshi.
Okay, that's very cute. But I did not come here to like cuddle monsters. I wanted to fight them. So what about the variety of platforms? Like there's Samsung, there's LG. It's a lot of complexity that we have.
That's true. That's a lot of complexity we have. And especially if you try to think in the way that every platform is an individual project with individual team, with individual backlog, etc. But we came up with a simplified mental model where we consider that every platform has like individual browser. So we can think like Tizen is a Chrome and Panasonic is gonna be Firefox and etc.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because then like no one would be building separate applications for a distinct browser outside of Smart TV. No one would do that.
Exactly. So what we do now is that we build feature once and then we have a way how we deploy it to all the platforms.
That's the Fusion project, right?
Yes, that's the Fusion project we had a couple of years ago, where we merged all together into one code base, into one project. Of course, there were a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to media stack.
But there we have the Explorer again.
Yeah, so our set-top box project is a bit legacy, but we found a way how we can build a common interface layer and abstract all A-box specific topics, and I can contain it independently.
So you made this whole platform complexity, turn it into something that everyone knows, which would be browsers, and now we can actually tackle this monster and again make it into a fluffy Yoshi.
Unfortunately, I think I killed another monster.
Okay, yeah, okay, great. But then that might be the case for companies that have only one product for themselves, but we're a platform. So there's white label customers all over the place. So they use our app. They want to have their own CI on it, their own logo, their own fonts. So that must be really, really complicated with all of that this platform stuff going on the TVs.
Exactly. This is another complex problem. And especially, I could easily see that we can turn our product into Frankenstein if we would build individual apps for individual customers.
Okay.
But again, we came up with a simplified model. Are you familiar with WordPress?
Yes, it's a content management system for bloggers with templates and stuff.
Exactly. So in the WordPress, you have themes. So basically, you have one copy of content, and then you can apply multiple themes, and then you can have a different look and feel.
Yeah.
So what we do is that we gather visual assets from our B2B customers, so like images, logo, fonts, etc.
Yeah.
And out of these assets, we automatically build themes, and then we apply them in our deployment.
Yeah, I knew that, but I thought it would be much more complex than WordPress.
This analogy, it's really simple. So it's just CSS and images and fonts.
Okay, so the designs are easy. I get that. Like you took away that monster too, so now it's a little fluffy. We've been over that. But then how about the configurations and the features? Because all of them are in different markets. They have different licenses for content. They have different rights, and they have recordings. They don't have recordings. They have content discovery. They have different features, and that must be complex because they're doing all of that for all of these customers on all of these TVs. That must be really complicated.
Indeed. And I wouldn't argue with this. This is another complex problem.
Good.
But again, a simplified mental model will help us to understand how we handle it.
Of course. So enlighten me. What would it be?
Do you like Lego?
I love Lego. Actually, I have a VIP Lego card for shopping at Lego.
Cool. Then you can think of every individual feature in our app as a Lego brick. So, and with the help of feature toggles, we can assemble different apps per platform and per partner.
Okay, but that's a hell of a lot of feature toggles. It's just too much.
Again, you're trying to make things more complex than they are. So what we did, that we extracted all the configurations in a separate place and gave possibility for our tenant operations to manage it independently from engineers.
Yeah, but so you just took it out of the app and put it somewhere else. Is that simplifying it?
It's simplifying because now we don't need to care about. So we know that there is another team who can handle it.
Okay, so it's just applied when they built the apps.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then again, you took a monster and
turned it.
Yes.
And another fluffy Yoshi.
Yeah, I like this one the best so far. Okay, so white labeling, I get it. But then in the end, everything needs to be deployed in different environments. And also all the steps of the development have different environments. So we have labs and we have QA and everything. That must be like a really big matrix system to keep track of where something is deployed.
True, another complex problem to solve. And remember, I told you that we have more than 200 environments.
I remember that, and I turned pale. Yes.
Yes, you did. But
I did.
You can think of it. Can you imagine a train station?
Yes, that's pretty easy.
So
yes.
That's a very simple analogy which is going to help to understand how we handle releases. So on the train station, every train has a number which defines the destination.
Yeah, makes sense.
Similar for app releases, we have versions which define when and where it should go to which customer.
Okay. That makes sense. So we have a train station, we have the trains, we have a schedule when stuff should be where. But then, okay, so then try to make sense of the rails of the station.
Let me think.
Yes, please.
I think I have a good analogy.
Yes, I was sure of that. Yeah.
our continuous integration and delivery pipeline actually defines the way how code gets deployed from our GitHub code base to end user devices. So it's a perfect analogy for Rails.
Okay. Okay. So you just imagined a train station with Rails and you made this into this.
Exactly.
Okay. But okay. But I get it. I get it. If you just break it down into little pieces, you can like do that. But there's one monster that I can't imagine everyone tackling that in a good way, because all of these variations, all of these environments, all of these TVs, they need to be tested, right? On the hardware. Sure. They need to be tested before they go out to the customers, to our customers or our white label customers. So QA is the biggest monster.
I agree here. This monster we are still fighting, but luckily we found a weapon to kill it.
Yeah, just hiring more QAs. That would be my solution.
Yeah, that could be one, but it doesn't scale well and also costs a lot.
Yes, it's expensive. Yeah.
So we're going to kill this monster with the help of machines.
Like those?
You can think like those. Actually, it's scripts running in our CI pipeline. On every change of our app, we run tests, which ensures that our code works as expected and features are working well.
Okay, so but that's not really simplifying it. You just basically automated it, and also there's the element of the hardware. So these little guys, can they test those?
It depends. So we currently, in our setup, since I mentioned earlier that Smart TV development is similar to web development, so we can use state-of-the-art tools like Cypress.js, which helps us to test UI and business logic.
Okay.
But we also have a solution for testing on a real hardware, like suit test. And this is something,
but
as you remember, we plan to start working soon.
Yes, it's not done yet. So like the monster still exists.
It still exists, but because we know how to kill them, and we know that it's gonna be killed in the near future.
So you kind of future kill the dragon. Future kill the dragon, and now it looks like this. Okay. Okay, so what you just did is took like my basically what I thought I was taking on when I came to Zattoo, like this big complex monster with too many heads that one would bite you somewhere and the other one would be putting out fire, and you took that and made it into these little guys just by simplifying stuff.
Exactly. When you think about something complex and find a simple analogy, it actually gives you a way how to solve this complexity.
Yeah, but then no one needs me anymore, because I was hired to fight those things, and now they're fluffy and they don't need fighting.
You can make friends with it.
Okay, yeah, I can make friends with Yoshi, but okay, but I give you that. It's a genius thing to do. So you just took it, you broke it down, you made it graspable for everyone, and you applied mental models that everyone could understand. I get it. You're a genius.
To be honest, it's not just me who came up with the same.
Who did?
Check out the next slide to find it out.
Okay, that guy. Yeah. Yeah, he always comes up with smart stuff. But then in the end, like what we did was actually applying this Silicon Valley philosophy and put that out there so we could have more platforms and more features in shorter time with a really, really small team. When I came here, I thought there would be like 10 people sitting here working on all of these TVs. And there were like 4. Was it 4?
It was 4.
It was 4, including you. Including you. Okay. I think that kind of made sense. Yes. So then Smart TV can be simple, actually.
It can be simple.
Okay. And then we can start hiring more people to be even more genius.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, then I will have to fight another monster somewhere else, I guess.
You know, I heard that B2B team has some monsters.
B2B. Oh, yeah. B2B monsters are also cool. I'm going to fight those. Well, yeah. Well, then. Thanks a lot for that. Thanks for listening, and I hope you got a bit of the information that we were trying to give you by making things simple.
Thank you.
And there's Pascal again.
Wow, thanks a lot, guys, for presenting, Pavel and Rachel. That was I have to say I was really hooked by the way you presented this. Huge compliment from my side. Really well done. And I also have the feeling that a game of Dungeons and Dragons with you guys would be really, really fun.
Yes.
But I think that's another subject.
So were there any questions?
All the dragons were gone. Yes. Too bad.
Yes. No, I was actually hoping that people would be comment finding the dragons, because that's also a lot of fun.
All right. There's a question from Tom. He asks, about 7 years ago, I had to work on an app for Samsung TVs only, and it was a dreadful experience. Which model maker gave you the most headache?
Well, maybe I can turn that around and say the model maker that was the best experience for us would have been Panasonic so far, because we branched out. That was the first platform in a couple of years that we have added to the portfolio, and they gave us great support into tackling any questions we had, and even helped us tweaking stuff on their side in the firmware to make our app work. So that was a very good experience, but I don't think that there's anyone that is more headache than the other one.
I think A-Box, like
Oh, yeah.
the set-top box platform.
Yeah, I missed that. I joined late, but he had all the fun with A-Box, which would be then the set-top box with the Internet Explorer type browser you saw there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, don't do that. But they don't exist anymore, so don't worry. Any other questions?
It looks like not. So again,
Good.
Well done, and thanks for presenting.
You're welcome.
Next up is Julius Kirschneder with fast growth, low costs with a real life example. We'll be back in about 4 to 5 minutes.
Cool.
Thank you.